Good day, gentlemen. If you don't already know, you are currently riding with subconscious reprogramming expert, wise man, human experience guide, and advanced theta healing practitioner on his way to mastery, Jordan Lundgren. Today's topic, I wanna speak about the layers of change that occur when you do begin to heal your inner world, and how those different layers interact with the other layers of reality, directly influencing everything else in your reality, basically to explain how by changing yourself, the rest of the world changes around your unique experience of reality. And so I'm going to start off with an example for myself, something I've been noticing. So, I started a new job 2 months and 4 days ago. And as I've said in a previous video, basically everywhere that I go, I'm the healthiest person wherever I go. Because this is what I value. I value my health. I value being able to take the deepest breaths I possibly can. I value being able to drink the cleanest water, the best water I possibly can. That's why I drink Kangen water. I value eating the right foods and exercising and meditating and doing yoga and doing breathing exercises and doing tapping and doing all of the spiritual stuff, all of the physical stuff, all the mental stuff, all the emotional stuff. This is what I value. And in taking care of yourself. So for example, if we're going to open up about water again, even though I kind of did a fairly large video explaining water and how amazing it is, and anyways, we're going to get into it. When you begin to change the water inside of your body, you see, if you look into Dr. Masaru Emoto's work, or if you want to also reference this lady Veda Austin, they'll show you that consciousness has the ability to interact and actually change the very structure of water. Now, what Masaru Emoto, what his experiments were to validate this theory that consciousness could impact the structure of water was, he would have people say different words to the water. He would have them focus just specific energies at the water. He would play different music around the water, and then he would freeze that water. And at the point of freezing, under a microscope, he would see whether or not the water created a geometrical, harmonious pattern, like a snowflake, or if the water would do something other. And what he noticed was that when positivity was spoken to the water, when positive energies were held towards the water, when music that was not 440 hertz, when music of the healing frequencies was played, or music with great structure such as classical music was played, the water began to take on geometrical forms. Now, why is that geometrical pattern important? Because your body, imagine it like this. Imagine if you were playing Tetris, but instead of being given pieces that were just all the 4-block long pieces that you could just stack up and easily put wherever you want to eliminate whatever lines you want and make the most amount of points possible. Imagine you were giving pieces that did not belong to the Tetris game, that were all kinds of weird shapes that did not ever fit together, and that's what you had to play with. How quickly would you lose? Very quickly. Because the water that is exposed to harmful frequencies, harmful energies, harmful words, which is essentially just another form of energy, even, and we're getting into cymatics here, and again, it's just all energy, even glasses of water that were placed over top of negative words that were written on a piece of paper, or if it was written on the water bottle in which the water was held, even that would change the structure of the water. So what happens when the negative energy, so to speak, is interacting with the water is it turns into sludge, basically. It turns into, imagine if you were to drop a dollop of paint from 2 feet above the page, it would just splatter and it would look like this weird splatter. It wouldn't be any type of harmonious geometrical shape, in the sense that you'd be able to stack them together to play a game of Tetris perfectly. Now, when your pieces aren't fitting together, well, what kind of dysregulation do you think is happening inside of your body when the structure of your water is all out of whack? There are many things that can happen, but this isn't where we're really going with this. What I wanted to more speak on is, okay, so when you are putting the right water into your body that is structured in a way that is perfectly geometrical, then all the pieces are fitting together. Well, what this means is that your body can be properly hydrated. What this means is that you have easier pathways for energy to flow through your body. This means that the water can actually penetrate your cells properly. Meaning that, and well, there's a lot to account for here, because are you taking your minerals? Because our soil in the world, if you don't know about our soil crisis, our soil is lacking a lot of the essential vitamins and minerals that it used to have, that our body needs to survive, that our body needs to flourish. So if you aren't already, get yourself some sea salt or Himalayan salt. Both have 94 of the body's essential minerals. And take that 2 to 3 times a day, just one little crystal, and then up the dosage as you need to. But what you're going to notice is that, see, the key here is water cannot be electrically conductive unless there are minerals in the water to carry the electricity. So with these two things, just by changing the structure of your water and by introducing minerals that can carry an electrical charge throughout your body, you're making yourself a manifestation generator. You're actually able to amplify whatever energy is going on inside of your body. And if you have structured water inside of your body, well, those are healing structures, you see. Because there's also a lot of research that's been done about the shape of the water, the structure of the water, and whether or not that's capable of healing the body, or if it dysregulates the body, and it does dysregulate the body. So with those two things alone, massive change will occur, because you see, water is actually a dipolar antenna. The triangle of dihydrogen monoxide is actually a dipolar antenna, which means that it sends and receives signal. So it's actually sending out signal at the same time. Because one way we can look at it is like this: the entire universe is wrapped up into a single cell of what we are, a single atom of what we are. It's all just basically a huge hologram, where every single point of every place that you are going to explore of reality is the entire universe wrapped up in that form. Now, in saying this, go on a cellular level, for example, our trillions of cells that we have in our body, each one is emanating essentially its own auric field, which contributes to the grander auric field that your larger organism of the human body emits out to the world. And it was said that the Buddha's aura actually extended over 3,000 miles, which means that just that single body alone, just that generator of energy, was able to reach a massive landscape. But of course, he's affecting the entirety, or it still is, because I just mentioned his name. His energy is still affecting the planet and the entirety of the entire universe, you see, because it's all connected together. It just, this reality is an illusion. It seems like it's all separate and everything, but it's really not. It's just a hologram of itself taking different forms so that we can play this game that we call being human. But essentially, whenever you're making changes within yourself, you're changing all of reality. So as you begin to put the minerals in your body, and you have structured water in your body, and the electricity can flow through your body, and you start eating the right foods and all of this, well, then the auric field that is emanating from your body, first of all, won't have any holes in it, which is extremely important, because, and I'm going to touch on, I'm going to go really in depth, because I did a video called Quality Quantity, where I go and I explain how alcohol is terrible for the body, but I didn't get into this aspect of it. I'm going to do a deep dive in a part 2 of quality quantity. But one thing that alcohol does do to you is it actually puts holes in your auric field. Now, what your auric field essentially is, it's almost like you could see it as like a force field around you, but also a magnetic field that attracts other energies to you. So if you have an auric field that has holes in it, if you're eating the garbage foods and everything, and your body is very acidic, well, the energetic result is that you're going to have holes in your auric field, which means that other energies that do not resonate with the kind of harmony that you want to experience in life, such as the joy, such as the bliss, such as the happiness, the fulfillment, all of that, those can penetrate your auric field now through those holes and attach themselves to you. And that is a hell of a thing to deal with, man. Because we don't really tend to look at our bodies as energetic bodies. And yes, the narrative is changing more and more because science has caught up to spirituality in the sense that we have been able to essentially scientifically verify everything that the ancient mystics have spoken about. And if you don't believe me, you can go ahead and search up Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and Dan Winter. Those 3 people alone will validate for you everything that I'm saying here and so much more. Dan Winter, he will take you to a whole other level. That man is a genius, in my opinion. Now, anyways, where I was going with it is, we tend not to look at our bodies as energetic beings, but this is true. And you can look at Dr. Jerry Tennant as well, who made Healing is Voltage, where he actually talks about how the body needs a specific electrical charge in each one of the cells to exist in different states of either healing or sickness or tiredness or disease or thriving health. So when it comes down to the energetic field, and here's another thing too. I mean, I hope I'm getting this percentage right, but I believe it is 0.005% of the light spectrum is what our eyes are actually able to decode of our reality. Now, if that doesn't say enough to you, that 99.99.5% of our reality, we actually have no idea what is happening around us because we just cannot perceive it on our level of vibration. That's a pretty shocking thing. That alone should open up people's eyes to say, funny enough, to say, holy shit, man, there's a lot happening that I don't know, which is totally cool. So with that being said, if we are to look at our bodies as, there's so many things, man, like the Kirlian Effect, for example. If you've ever looked into the Kirlian Effect, which I believe is spelled, I don't know if it's 2 R's or not, Currlen effect, if you want to search that up. What they would do is they would take natural pieces of the environment, say a leaf, for example, and they would cut the leaf in half and then put it under this lens that was able to detect that there was still an energetic frequency being emitted from the rest of the leaf to build what looked like the rest of the body of the leaf. Because the physical form, or what we would call the physical form, is not actually what we are. We are an energetic wave. And, you can look into things then, such as the double slit experiment, for example, which, okay, I'm dropping a lot of knowledge bombs here, so I'm not going to get deep into that, but go ahead and search up the double slit experiment. So basically what I'm saying is that on the invisible level, and people can actually attune themselves to being able to detect it through feeling and through sight and through all the other senses. For example, man, I have so many tangents, eh? For example, I've done a lot of theta healing sessions on people in my day, and doing them in person is my absolute favorite. Doing them online is still amazing, but there are so many more, what I would say, miraculous or spectacular things that happen when it's in person. Like this one woman I was doing a session on. So you go into theta together, and so your eyes are closed. But at one portion of the healing session, eyes totally closed, I actually saw the entire outline of her being appear to me in the form of light. And I was able to literally see what energy she was emitting. I was able to see everything about her energetic body. It was really cool. And that wasn't a part of the different types of healings that we do. It was just sort of like an after effect of being able to now witness a different dimension of sight. Really cool. So on this energetic level, how we're impacting the rest of our reality is imagine that everything, which it is just a compiling, or not a compiling, imagine that the composition of everything is cells. Just to make it so much more simple, instead of looking at all this and seeing everything being different, just imagine that everything is cells for this example. And that there are two cells in this example. And each one represents you and your energetic field, and the other one represents the rest of reality. Now, if you have a healthy energy about you, you see, what's going to happen if your cell makes contact with this other cell? If you don't have holes in your auric field, if you are strong in your immune system, if you have built up your energy in such a way that you are essentially invincible to negative energies, negative so to speak, what's going to happen is that other cell, which may be negative in its energy, not negatively charged, but it may be, negative in its energy, it's not going to be able to affect you. But you, upon contact with that other cell, your energetic field reaching out and touching this other aspect of reality, it's going to begin to change positively the other energy of the other cell. So, as you just exist, as I'm driving down the highway right now, everybody that I'm passing by is being influenced in a way by my energetic field, by the very presence of my vehicle, because as well, my vehicle is imprinted with the energy of who I am. Otherwise, I wouldn't have purchased this vehicle and I wouldn't have it to this date. It is still in alignment with the energy that I'm existing in. Therefore, it is still in my life. So it is also amplifying the energy that I have in this reality. And as I'm passing by, you could imagine it as if you see my car or you see my truck from a bird's eye view, that there is a dome, like a dome over top of me of energy that's extending very widely, because I know my auric field is gigantic, and it's passing through and influencing all of the rest of this stuff and creating change without me having to actually do anything other than just be who I am. Which is pretty cool in my opinion, you see. So this is just one layer on which we're affecting the rest of our realities. But then there is also the way that we are speaking to others, the way that we are speaking to ourselves. It all contributes to the energy that emanates from us, because as you are speaking, you're creating a vibration. You are literally creating another form of energy every time that you speak and casting it out into reality as essentially a magnet for whatever it is that you are speaking. You are attracting back to you whatever it is that you are speaking about in whatever way you are speaking about that thing. So if you are speaking very negatively about something, well, then you're casting out negative energy, magnetizing negative energy to come back to you. But as you speak out positive energy, as you go out and you speak to other people with gratitude, and you show appreciation for people, or you just compliment people, about anything, that's beautiful energy that you're sending back out to reality. They're going to have a reaction to that. Some people might have a negative reaction to that positivity, but that doesn't mean that you haven't sent out positivity, you see. And it will attract itself in a different way. So there is also this layer at which we are changing our realities, is how we speak, because we are literally shooting darts of energy, bullets of energy out into creation to attract back to us what it is that we want. And even when you're speaking negatively, yes, you are choosing to want things that are negative, because it's all a choice how you speak. Now, of course, there is a certain threshold that you need to cross in order to reach that place of knowing that it is all the choice. Because for so long I did live in a victimhood mentality where I didn't really believe in my own powers, and I blamed people for different things, for problems in the world. I blamed the government, I blamed the corporations, I blamed all these people for the way that things are. But so long as I'm blaming them, I'm giving them more power than I'm giving to myself, because I'm saying that they have the ability to change things, but I do not, which is total bullshit, man. I'm going to create amazing change in this world, and that is a fact that I have just stated. For example, one thing I'm doing with these videos is I'm preparing myself to go on stages and speak to people about this stuff and change the conscious perspective of everybody that I interact with. I'm going to be doing TED Talks in my future. It's literally in my plans, man. I'm saving up the money to go and get a mentorship to do the TED Talks and present a TED Talk. And from there, I know things are just going to blow up for me. And this is just what I'm doing. As I've said, to my dying breath, I will be giving everything I possibly can back to creation so that other people can live a fulfilled life, so that other people can experience what it's like to be this damn healthy, man. I feel so good all the time. And, and I am getting back to the whole example of me being at work and everything. I just really wanted to paint a picture of all the different layers at which we're influencing the rest of our realities because of how I've been influencing the people at work and the different choices that they began to make because of my presence. So, the speaking, the energetic field, yes, just by you being somewhere, you are changing the atmosphere of that place. If we had another planet come into the orbit of our solar system, what do you think would happen? This is essentially the same thing when we're over at a job site or when we're interacting with anybody anywhere. It's basically, imagine it like a solar system, and then a new planet has just come in with its own gravitational pull. Who knows what'll happen? So you are energetically influencing the rest of reality. You are literally changing the structure of people's water in their bodies to create more harmony just by being around them. And by the words that you speak to them, by the thoughts that you have sending out to reality. To the point that there are 1, 2, 3 people at my work. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna mention 4. I'm gonna mention this guy first. There was one person who was at this job who was so negative in their mindset that they would get frustrated to the point of throwing stuff, of swearing, like really swearing every single day, where they would say, I hate my life, I fucking hate this job, why am I here, I want to go home, I can't do this anymore, every single day, man. And cancel clear that. And and I had to work hand in hand with this person, and it was a very interesting experience to learn more about how my energy reacts to somebody like that. And I had a great opportunity to challenge myself through that energy. And anyways, this person, and this is the kind of stuff that will happen to you when you bring an energy that is so powerfully positive. That person ended up moving and is no longer on our job site. You see, and now we're getting to a point where people might get lost here and say, so that person has their own life. That has nothing to do with you. My friend, each one of us are having our own unique experience of reality. My reality is not your reality at all. I'm literally saying that even though you're watching this video of me right now, this version of me that you are witnessing is not the version that I am anymore. You see, as we pass through different moments in reality, there is no such thing as time. There's no such thing as space. There is only ever the present moment, which means that in this moment, there is an infinite possibility of choices that you can make for how you move forward with this state of existence that you're experiencing. And because there is an infinite possibility of choices that you can make, it means that there is an infinite version or an infinite amount of realities that exist as per the different choices that you can make in this moment to create the next moment of reality as it needs to come in. Basically, reality is just a string of present moments that are like still shots on a film of a movie film. It's literally like that, but it's being played so quickly that it seems like reality is fluid. We're constantly shifting through different versions of ourselves and different realities. And this is happening for each one of us. We're not experiencing the same realities at all, my friend. You have a complete unique experience of reality where, say, mine is that I become the greatest hip hop artist of our generation. Yours could be that you become the greatest artist of our generation. I will still be in your reality, but you will surpass me. Because that is what you are capable of. You are the creator of your reality. You are God. You are God. And not in the sense that you are and not in the sense that you can like literally just bend trees and do whatever you want here and right now. Not in the sense of an omnipotent force or omnipotent being that can fly and do all that stuff. And maybe that's even possible. I have no idea, man. But what I'm saying is that you are creating the totality of your reality, and that every single thing you do is impacting the rest of the reality that you are experiencing, as I've just said. We are the entire universe. You are God. You are creating all of it. You can be whatever you want to be. It's your experience, my friend. And I bring this energy to my world, and therefore the people, the energies that no longer align with that amazing energy that I come with, it has to leave my reality in some way. It has to, because it cannot be in the same vicinity. So this person moves away, and all of a sudden, the job site's way happier. It's so much easier to be there. But then as well, there's this other kid who's really been picking my brain because he's curious about the information that I possess. He's told me that I've changed his life in ways he never thought were possible in the past 2 months that he's known me and that we've been working together. Another guy who, has been creating his own sleeping problems and a bunch of other different health problems. He had been drinking after work and everything, and he knows that that's been throwing his sleep cycle off. He's not drinking at night anymore. And he bought this thing to help work his lungs to get rid of the mucus in his lungs because he wants to quit smoking. And that talk only started when I got there. And there was another guy, because I've been having these conversations openly with this other person, right? And they've been asking me about certain things because I carry my little jar of salt and I have salt at lunch, and they ask me, what are you doing? Why is that? Why is this? And this is the thing too, you present yourself in a different way when you live on these types of energies because you're eating different foods than most people. You have a different routine than most people. You speak differently than most people. And when you are just different, people want to listen to what you have to say. Especially if you're well researched and you're not a dickhead. So anyways, I've been openly having extremely intellectual and deep conversations with this one guy who the whole job site is tuning in and listening to this stuff. And another guy being influenced by that, being influenced by my presence there, he is now also quitting vaping. Now, am I going to say that it's 100% because of me? Well, no, they have their own, they have their own will, their own ability to choose. But I know for a fact that I am influencing their choices, because when they come to me and they tell me, yeah, man, I started doing this for my health, I say, fucking great job, man. That's amazing. That's amazing that you're 3 days off the vape, brother. Good for you. Not everybody's willing to make those choices, man. Give me a dap. Good for you, man. And you jack them up. You boost the energy. And it helps people carry forward, making the better choices. And this is how we influence our reality, guys. It's not just that your inner world changes, and that's amazing. It's that the very reality that will render around you actually changes as well. Now, with that being said, I did want to make another video and I'm running out of time. So, I'm going to leave it there, my brothers. I hope you gained something of tremendous value, something that will help you change your life from this video. And you guys know, man, I make these videos because I love humanity. I love you guys. I want to see this world living in the beautiful paradise that it could be, you know? So without further ado, that is my goodbye. Cheers.